Hi there everyone, Tyler, the shop foreman here at North Star Ag. Today's video is going to show you how to set up your Raven ISO. Now I'm going to show you how to set up a Raven ISO rate controller on a Loftness fertilizer spreader. Your first step you need to do is hit the 3 gears on the right side of the screen, then hit the tractor with the half a gear showing, type in your application type. This gives you many options to type in, and you want to click spreader spinner. Our next step is to enter in the width of the machine. In this case, it is 90 feet is what we'll be spreading with this machine. On here, it asks you to put in for the inches rather than feet. So it is 1,080 inches instead of just 90 feet. Then on the bottom here, it says section setup. You want to click on that, and then you type in the number of sections. This machine has 2 sections. And you press next, and then you enter in your widths on each section, and this has equal sections on both sides. So it is 540 inches in number 1 and in number 2. And then you just press OK, and that step is done. So our next step is to hit the icon on the top side of the screen. That's a raindrop with sprinkles, is what we like to call it. And that gives us to our control type. And our control type is a dual bed, dual encoder spreader. And we got many options here to click from. This application type is strictly for this spreader. Then right below that is our spreader constant. Our spreader constant is just a starting point on this spreader. It's not the exact number when you're out spreading your fertilizer. This as an example is just 1132. Then right below that is your valve cal. You want to click on that. This shows your valve type. On this machine, a PWM close valve is what is used. And then your PWM cal number is 43. Your PWM max is 253. Your PWM min, which is minimum, is 1. And your PWM frequency is 122. The next thing we want to check is our featured settings. In our featured settings, you have a few different options to do. You can add a rate bump, which is right here, and you just got to check mark that. This is also where you add your rates, your flat rates. An example, I just put 150 pounds down on rate number 1. This is also where you turn on your section control. And on this, the box is grayed out because there is no globe hooked to this monitor right now. And then we have our spinner/fan control setup. On this machine, our valve type is a PWM closed. Our valve cal is 43. Our meter cal is 20, that is the number that's on your sensor that's on top of one of the spinner motors to read the pulses on that motor to show how fast the spinners are moving. Our max PWM is 253. Our minimum PWM is 1, and our PWM frequency is 122. The nice thing on this screen is it shows you the actual RPM on the very bottom of the screen, which is when your spinners are on, you can come in here and look at the graph and see exactly what is all going on with your spinners if they are not running at the correct speed. The last thing on this page is your tank fill configuration. Here you just punch in your tank capacity, which is 24,000 pounds, your tank volume, and your low tank. Our next icon is a bell on the top of the screen, which is just your alarms. So you got a low tank alarm, you got a low limit flow, which usually we leave at 0. Your off rate alarm is at 30%. Your RPM off rate alarm is at 30%. And your dual encoder error is at 15%. Now we want to go to our home screen, which is just the house on the right side. Now on your home screen, on the left side of the screen, it says density. You just click on this and you punch in the density, so the weight of your fertilizer. And that will change throughout the course of a day and how heavy the product is that you're putting on. And then if you click in the middle of the screen on the RPMs, it'll give you the target RPMs. And on here, these do vary. You want to punch in 700 RPMs for 90 feet. Then just press OK. And that will stop the RPMs at 700 RPMs once your spinners are spinning. And then to turn everything on your machine, you just got to click your fan on with your hydraulics on, and then click your toggle switch in the top right corner, and then turn your foot pedal on. And that will allow the machine to turn on and run once you are outspreading. I hope this video helps you with your Raven ISO setup. We also have a video available for your Raven ISO calibration. If you do have any more questions, feel free to call us here at North Star Ag.